Hello, hello. This is an experiment where I will try to talk about loneliness and at the same time, it is very improvised, and at the same time, play chess and try to beat this guy while I talk about loneliness in a 5 minute chess blitz game, which obviously will be difficult. Okay, loneliness. What do we mean by loneliness? And what does loneliness really feel? First of all, I think not everybody experiences loneliness the same way because, well, it's complicated, but for me, if I value personal relationships in my life, maybe I will feel lonely. And that would definitely be loneliness to me. Michael, yeah. I forgot to take my mic in front of me. So loneliness would be something that really, really is important to me. And I would perceive maybe myself when I'm alone to be lonely, to be suffering, to be lacking something. And I guess when you describe yourself as lonely, that's really you describing yourself as lacking something that you need, which is human communication. Now, you could also have a shit ton of human communication and still feel lonely because let's see what's going on here. Sorry, I'm just going to try to derail a little bit. Let's try to win the bishop here. Okay. You could also be not just lonely in the sense of yourself, but you could also have what I was trying to say. Sorry, I lost my train of thought because this is not very easy because I am under time pressure in talking about this, which probably might be interesting, maybe not. Who knows? This is my first time doing this. But the point of the matter is you can also have a lot of relationships. You can also have a lot of friends. You can have a lot of acquaintances and you can still be lonely. Because maybe what you value is meaningful relationships instead of many relationships. Or maybe you have many relationships, but they don't fulfill your needs. And that's why I think the core of every single human relationship and the core of what drives us is often our needs. Okay, this will definitely weaken my position. This will block my bishop. This will maybe win his bishop, but they will at least force him back. Okay. It's maybe our needs because we all have different needs. I might be a superstar. I might have achieved all my dreams, but I will still feel lonely. That's one of the probably bad feelings. But again, we need to define how that feeling feels. Because if you've been self-sufficient, maybe, you will not feel loneliness the same way. It will not be the same for you. It just won't, because you know what it's like. You've experienced it. Oh, hell no. Oh my god. Okay, we can still recover from this. Actually, he's not trapped because if he takes my knight and I take his bishop, so we're chilling. Actually, I could just go here. Hello. Anyway. I don't have a script, by the way, so this is very difficult and maybe engaging. I shouldn't keep repeating that. It should be engaging without me having to say it is engaging, but that is, I guess, a weakness of mine. This will pin the bishop or the knight. It will force him to defend. Okay. So it's really about our needs. I might have a need to be famous and then I won't feel lonely because the people who watch me, the people who care about me, the people who vibe with me, they are the ones that I need. Those are the ones that I need validation from. Maybe it's all about validation. I don't know if he can defend this pawn like this. Maybe it is all about validation. It is about our needs. But again, it depends. Some people, they need it. The validation. They need the attention. They need somebody externally maybe to make them feel good. And I'm not saying that every single person who has a dream to be famous needs external validation, but it's probably driving them. That's why maybe, millionaires and very successful people in general, they're quite self-driven, but they also sometimes they have certain, I don't know how to call it, it's like certain limitations in them, perhaps. They've suffered some way, right? Or they need something. They have a core need that hasn't been fulfilled in their childhood. I don't know, like safety or their parents' attention, and so they might. I'm not saying this is true. I'm saying I'm hypothesizing because it's very different for many different people. But maybe they need that attention now. And the people who most need attention in theory in psychology, it is often the people, I think, I'm not a psychologist, but I have read about these things and I've been curious about it. I think those are the people who most often have that lag from childhood, or they have that trauma from their present, because it's also trauma in the present, right? Well, that is a very interesting move because that just gives me a free pawn. And okay, he wants to push this. Okay, that's actually smart because if I did not do that, he would go here. But then that's fine actually because I just take. Okay. That's just a core need, and we don't know what our drivers are. They're very much different. Some people, their drivers are attention. Other people, their drivers are making the world a better place, maybe. Other people, their drivers are hunger, right? Because a lot of people, maybe sometimes, the core issue is that it's very dependent on what we need and how we need it. Okay, no, it's fine. I just thought about how he could mate me. I actually have a tactic where I can take the pawn. Actually, I don't because his king is defending the dude. I also have this pawn hanging here for me. I don't think he can do anything to me with the rook by itself. Okay. Let's see here. I still like that he is pinned. I'm trying to buy myself some time here. I definitely want to go for this pawn. Ooh. Well, now I pinned the bishop. Okay, now he moved. Okay. Now I can do this tactic. Or maybe I cannot, and he has some kind of counter move to this. I have no idea. Okay, there you go. Perfect. Okay, we're reaching the end game. Do I want to take his thing? Yes, because I'm 2 pawns up and I am ahead of time. In time. Okay. This is my strong side. He can push pawns here. I don't know. Yes, okay, I'm fine. I'm totally fine. I am totally fine. Even if it takes that pawn, I rush my pawn there and I win. So he cannot do that. Okay, anyway. Validation. What other drivers do we think there is? I mean, I told you, it's hunger. It's a need for something. The thing we most lack is maybe the thing we most want or need in our lives. He cannot take. Okay, because then I do this, or I don't do this, actually. No, I do it. Yeah. I guess I'm still kind of okay at chess. I might lose, by the way. Just on time. So I need to hyper-focus and still talk about this very important topic. It's just the things we most lack, I think. And people lack all kinds of different things. All kinds of different things. And it really depends on what you didn't have. All right. Well, that was it. That was the topic. I'm not going to extend this anymore. Hope you enjoyed. And I don't know if this will show the screen. Maybe it won't. Okay. All right. That was chess and loneliness.